So the next presentation is
Laida
from the Union University.
Yes, I'm Laida. I'm living in Athens, Greece. I'm affiliated to the University of Ionian. I have done a master's in communication, media, and journalism, and I'm now working at the marketing. But my studies were always in communication, and I'm affiliated to Ionian University and the Department of Audiovisual Arts. So in this presentation, me and on behalf of the rest of the team that couldn't make it here, I will present the various aspects of cultural identity of different countries on the website through aesthetic analysis, and particularly through color. Color undoubtedly is one of the most important elements that determine aesthetics. It's undoubtable that it has affects the human nervous system, and it can evoke specific emotion. Although it's not very easy to associate a color with a person's response, we can observe that specific color combinations can have a very specific effect on someone's mood, and it has been observed that the more attractive the combinations are, the more trustfulness and satisfaction are generated on someone's aesthetic perception. The general aesthetics and more specifically the prominent colors of a website user interface and how they are combined together to produce a final visual result are important factors of the cultural identity of a website or a web application. Also, values. Also, specifics like saturation, hue, or brightness can affect the user's perception, physical emotion, and emotional reactions. For instance, there is a preference to short wavelength colors when it comes to website and web applications, comparing to long web colors. Like, for instance, people are tending to find more pleasing the websites that have colors like blue or green, comparing to websites that have green or yellow. Another aspect, except from the color itself, is the combination of color. That we have seen that if a color combination is not effectively combined together, this might affect the user's perception negatively. And when we say the color combination, we usually use the color wheel and how the colors are combined between each other. Also, there is another aspect, like the selection of the background. It has a contrast, like white background or darker background. But all of these are relevant comparing to where you are. So some countries might prefer a more minimalistic approach and a whiter background, while others might prefer an approach that you use more colors or a darker background. So that is what we wanted to do with this study, and see how the different color and color combinations are expressed in the different areas of the world, and how in a way this is translate their culture into their website. So we took data from 37 countries. We took the 10 most popular websites from each country. We wanted the major problem here was that we wanted the domain to also respond to the country. Like Usually it is so, but if it is GR, it will be from Greece, but in some cases it might be a domain and it wouldn't be in the appropriate country. So we needed to also clear up that. And then we ended up with 370 websites from 13 regions. In order then to be able to analyze the color, the first step was to create a small application. It was a PHP application that would collect the information from the website. This was done in a way that it was scanning the website via an external application of the web browser, and it will take a screenshot of the website and create a PNG image of it, and then we will store this on the external drive. And we will have, let's say, a general image of the website. Of course, this might have the disadvantage that you will have a screenshot of the first image. You won't have, let's say, for the whole website. But usually nowadays the websites are and the web applications are very unified, like they have a common feeling. That's the trend that it is followed. Here, the next step after we took the screenshots was to see how close the colors are and take the hexadecimal representation of its color and then find the color closeness, how close its color is to the other. So we will make a cluster of colors. So the basic colors, this is the color wheel. So it's usually used in decoration, in design, and of course in web design. So there are 4 color schemes that you can use if you want to have, the rule says that if you want to have a harmonious advantage, you can use one of these and it will be, you will have a nice and clean result. So the color schemes is either monochromatic when you use one color. So here we decided to do, except from black and white, which are the basic colors and they are on the websites, what will be the rest. So in general, it will be monochromatic, that you will have one approach or one color. The analog, where you will have colors of the wheel that they are very close to each other. Then it is the complementary when you use 2 colors, but they are on the opposite side of the wheel. So if you want to make your wheel green, you can have an accent of pink and it will look nice, supposedly. And the triadic, which forms a triangle on the color wheel. We also use the red, yellow, blue model comparing to the RGB. But I believe that this is a more technical thing to analyze here. But the theory is that in our yellow blue model, all colors are combined together and you perceive subconsciously another color, while the RGB uses the light to do that. So it's very technical. So the first parameter was to see if there are more the numbers of colors besides the black and white that was used in each country. As we can see, the majority don't use a lot of colors. They use the majority used more than 1 or 2. But there were also countries like the United Arab Emirates or India or Latvia that used more than 5, and also there is Malaysia that used more than 6. So this is very colorful, something that might represent in general how they see their aesthetics, which are more colorful. They use more colorful layout, so probably this is their perception of aesthetics. So then we see the results in its region. We see that in South and Southeast Asia, the Middle East and Central America, as well as in Eastern Europe, there is a tendency of using more than 2 colors in design. And in contrast, in North and South America, East Asia, And in most of Europe, you don't use more than 2 colors. It's more of this trend that we have for minimalism in websites. Another parameter that was used, it's the color of the background, using light or dark background, and see if there is a color combination. We saw that the majority uses a white background. And interestingly enough, some countries, of course, use black. And interestingly enough, we saw that some countries prefer not to use black, but a third color that it might be cold or warm. So colder, yes, let's say colder colors are used to evoke a feeling of calmness, while warmer usually evoke excitement. So in some cases, it was interesting to see that they prefer to use a warmer color. So leaving the color combinations and focusing on the color of using eventually, we can see that some countries prefer, let's say, northern blue and orange seem to be the most commonly used globally, with Australasia, North and South America and Southeast Asia preferring blue. But in general, you can see red, yellow, blue, and orange that they are used. You won't see too much green of a purple, with some exceptions. Here is the warm versus the cool color use. When we can see that the majority prefers to use colder colors in order to have this a feeling of calmness. But let's say, for instance, we have East Asia that they use warmer colors, or also Northern Europe in some cases. And the last parameter that was analyzed was the color combination. So as we said, we have the 4 color combinations: monochromatic, complementary, analogous, and triadic. For the most part, there was a tendency for the designers to follow one of these combination, with the most common to be the monochromatic. And but there were regions like East Asia or South America where they didn't use that much of a color scheme, or like Northern Europe or Central America, where there it is a common practice. So we see that the world of web design in general, it is evolving. New trends are emerging all the time and across different countries. And the designers seem to follow that. So by examining all these trends, by examining all these trends, we can identify trends and results, and understand how they influence the choices regarding the color and other combinations. And we can see that in different places, in different regions, designers tend to follow different combinations that derive from the cultural background. But we believe that we still need to dive into this more, because we are not there. Like we say in Southeast Asia, it's more fancy, let's say, but we are not in Southeast Asia to really know the fanciness of how well is this depicted. We can have a sense, let's say. I was working for a Singaporean company, and everything were very flamboyant. Yes. They were asking, like, you will never think that, oh my God, there's so many things, very flamboyant, like this is not gold enough, or things like that. So yes, I have a sense that, yes, this is true, but we haven't seen each country individually how well this is represented. So yes, this was the first presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have questions?
Yeah, one question. So potential use cases, how you could use the results of this research across what? The marketing?
Definitely, it is totally web designing, and of course, if it is digital marketing, you can use it to make better, let's say, banners or assets that you would want to advertise. And if you are in a specific country, you will know what your population seems to enjoy the most, let's say, visually. Because there was trends are trends, and we have seen evolving. Like we have these purple websites back in the 2000s. Now you would never see like a purple website. But then we have a 90s retro aesthetics come back.
But also ads, right? Online ads.
Yes, I would say online ads. Of course, websites as websites. Because it's and design, graphic design, and everything related to it.
And how do you define the 10 most popular websites that you have used within your methodology?
Oh, the colleague they took them from, extract them from the database that has the most visitors, let's say, in terms of viewers, visitors. It was.
So there is a variety of types of website.
Yes.
Okay. And do you think it's very representative of the colors they use in that country? Because it's just maybe one website, just the most popular.
Yeah, definitely. You could use more data. I understand that you're doing the data analysis, but it is a good way to start something, let's say, qualitative and see if it has any meaning. And because if you see doesn't, then you would not continue. But yes, you could use more, of course. Then it's not, we have millions of websites. But usually the 10 first are indicative to they are usable, they have a lot of people reading them, so it says something about it.